Alright, I think now we're live. So, what happened was I just streamed for like at least 5 minutes, and I was wondering, like, hey, going to tweet it out real quick. There you go. So I tweeted it, and there you go. Sent it out on Discord. Whoops, I misspelled some stuff here. Okay, there you go. Alright, cool. So, wait, I'm just gonna get the YouTube chat window open. Welcome, guys. So yes, today we're going to be working on Archipelo. Yesterday we were working on the tutorial, and I wasn't too happy with it. We were doing the trying to add in the moving platforms, and I kind of added in the day before, but it was really buggy, so I wanted to try fixing the bugs. And I realized it wasn't really the right way to do it. And honestly, the right way to do it would require a lot more stuff to add into the game, like physics related stuff. And it would just make the tutorials like so much longer. But I'm going to try to figure out a way how to do it more simply. It's just I couldn't really do it on the live stream. Normally those kinds of things I like figure out kind of on my own in my head, or like I don't really it's kind of hard to figure out more complicated logic while you're like live on a stream. So yeah, but today we're going to be working on Archipelo. More specifically, I'm going to be adding in usable items. Well, they're already kind of added in, but I just need to test it out more, see if there's bugs. Also, we need to add in the sound effects for using items. So that'll be pretty cool. And actually, the first thing I need to do is make some placeholder art so we can test it out. So I'm just going to open Pixel Edit. Here, we'll just do 2 animation frames. Okay, no, I shouldn't do it this way. Yeah, I'll show you guys a little bit how we do the player art. Alright, so see, we have all these different layers here. I think this is actually an old version of it. Yeah. This is the old one. Why did I keep the old one? No, it's not this. Oh yeah, this is cool. Well, yeah, this is just some of the art that our pixel artist made. Looks pretty good, I think. We have to test some more stuff, and I'm kind of messed up here with the tiles. It's not how you're supposed to use it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But that's not what this is about. Hold on, I just need to... I'm probably going to have to download it. But we have a player template that we use to make player art. It's pretty cool, actually. I don't know why I didn't delete this old one that I was using here. Because that's really outdated. So delete that. I should probably clean up this folder anyways. There's so much stuff in here. But this is my Archipelo folder. There's a lot of things in there. I even kept the old fonts. But anyways. Okay, just bear with me for a second. Hey, how's it going, Raging Rabbit? Sorry, I saw your messages. I didn't really respond to it. I'm pretty good. How about you? Alright, player template. Well, I'm downloading it now. I hope it doesn't affect the stream too much. Otherwise, that would kind of suck. Okay, it's already downloaded. Oh yes, Eagle Island. You guys should check that out on Kickstarter. It's a pretty neat platformer game. Okay. Alright, now this is it. So basically, I thought I made more layers than this. Hold on a second. How did I do this again? The thrust. Let's open that too. Right. So this is they're all the same image pretty much, but it's so we can do multiple layers, like multiple animation frames. So we're just going to use 2. So I'm going to save this one to my desktop so I can work on it. Alright, close these. Okay. Size canvas. So I'm just going to do 2 animations deep. So you can check here the layers. It's pretty neat actually the way it kind of works. Depending on the direction, the weapon is rendered either in front of the player or behind it. So to do this, we actually have, well, I kind of wrote it here. See, I have one weapon layer here and one here, and these are the directions. So if the player's looking up or up left or up right, it's going to be rendered behind the player. So it's going to be rendered first. And if it's left, down, down, right, right, it's going to be rendered in front of the player. So it's going to be rendered last. Oh, yeah, I like the pixel art. It's good. Hey, well, welcome to the stream. Here, I'll move the chat so I can see you guys a little bit better. Alright, that should be good. So yeah, also, I don't know if I showed you guys this, but the player square is a lot bigger than it used to be. Here, I'll see if I can do a... Oh, the tile grid is on. But yeah, basically it's 90 by 90 pixels now, so you have like a good amount of space around each one. So yeah, we can do some pretty big weapons and stuff like that with this now. Alright, so I'm gonna do like some really, it won't look super nice, but I'm just gonna try to do some little like a blue sword or something. So since we're facing up now, I should do it like this. So it'll be like, well, I guess here I'll do like a little bit of an animation. It'll be like, and then I'll be here like this. Here I'm going to close all the other layers so I can see the sword. That's one thing too. See, the hair like adds a lot of space. Actually, the bald guy kind of looks small. It looks like his head is tiny or something. It's a bit weird. Hello, DJ. Okay. So yeah, this seems not too bad. Really, this is just placeholder art, so I don't need to do anything too crazy. If I just put the skin on. As long as the skin's on, it should be good. Here, and then I'll make like a handle. Alright, good enough for that. Okay, let's do the other directions now. Here, I'll do the handles first. Might as well. Goes like that. Yeah, I should probably add these colors to the palette too. Hold on, this is the wrong layer actually. Okay. Alright, so this renders above. So you need to be careful for that, because it doesn't render under on this layer anymore. So we need to, I basically need to render everything like I can't render over the hand. There you go. It should be good. Actually, this I'm going to do differently. Be kind of like that. So it's gonna be like a little bit of a swing. Nothing too fancy or anything like that, but fill. Whoa. Why is it filling everything? That's weird. Oh, because there's a hole here. I didn't see that. There you go. It looks a little thick here. Well, I guess I shouldn't be too picky since this is just placeholder. Yeah, let's just test out one of the animations. Well, I guess I'll be testing out all of them. Whoops. Alright. Kind of works. And then doesn't look super amazing, but it's fine. Alright, and we'll go on to the next one. So this will be rendered in front as well. I didn't add in the this. Yeah, I'll try to speed it up a little bit here because this is kind of boring. I just want to get to the programming. Fill. It actually looks much longer here. There. That's fine. So it's only up left and up right. Okay. So these two directions I have to use that layer. I can't, well, I can forget, I guess. As long as I don't draw on these other layers, I think I'll be okay. That's really annoying when you have to like extract stuff from other layers because you accidentally drew on them. I do that a lot. This layer is actually just a mirror image of this other one, so I'm just going to copy it for this. Alright. Alright, and then now we use this one. Here, I'm going to take off the shirt just so I can have a good render. Alright, getting there. Almost done. Forgot I was on the stream for a second there. I don't know why. Alright, that looks fine. Thing is too, once you get a good sword template, it you pretty much just change the colors a little bit. And you can, yeah, you can pretty much just work on it like that. Like no need to reinvent the wheel. You can of course like make modifications, but it's kind of like this, you know, like we have a good shirt template right now. So if you want to make some other kind of shirt, you can easily just change the colors a little bit, add a little bit of detail, maybe add like some padding or something, you know, but overall all shirts kind of look similar to that, like at least in shape. So once we get a good sword template or a bow template, all that kind of stuff, it'll look much better. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm just going to flip it over. Alright, that looks good. Well, good. It looks alright. Actually, the bald guy kind of looks weird. Once I in the player creator soon, I'm probably gonna add like a bald guy, like so you can just have no hair. But right now it does look a little weird. I guess it's alright. But like the hair really adds a lot to the head. It makes it look bigger. Well, maybe just because that hair is huge. Yeah, it looks way too big. Alright, and the last one, actually this is just a clone of that one, so we'll just copy this again. Wait, I just want to adjust this. This looks a bit weird. Okay, copy this. Paste. Alright, good enough. It looks like he has some sort of weird lightsaber thing, but that's alright. Okay, so close all these other layers. And now we just have a sword. So we can export this now. Here, I'm going to save it first. Export. I'll do the Archipelo stuff here. Items. And we'll call this use. I think I'm going to make a couple of variations of this just to test it out. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make like a green variation as well, and I also want to make a red one to test out the styling. So I'm going to use green to test out the different use types. So basically the way it works is you can have one sword, and or you can have like any item, and every item has a style, kind of like the entities. I showed you guys, it was a little while back, but we had some teleporters that were red and some that were blue. It was just basically a little style variable that we can change, and it would change the style of it. So the items have the same thing. So I'm going to make a red one to test that out. Here, I'll just use this. And also, they have different use animations. So one item, like a sword like this, could have like a stab, could have a slice, you can even have a spin attack. So those would be different use types for this item. Alright, it's here. So I'm just going to change the colors a bit here. And we'll do like a little darker red. Like that. How does that look? Yeah, that's fine. And some this layer here. Alright, that's it. And we'll export this as we should actually have two. So yeah, this would be the style 1. So the other was style 0, so 0, 0. This is style 1, and I'm gonna do the same thing but make it like an orange one. So it would be like that. That looks kind of ugly. It should be dark orange. Whoops. These kind of look like popsicles or something. The popsicle weapon. A couple of things like placeholder art that was really bad that I kind of felt like leaving in the game once we were done. You know, like Blobby Bob. Remember that? Well, you guys probably remember. It's that placeholder art for the player art before we had all this nice stuff here with all the different layers and everything. It was just like this really ugly white blob thing. I actually put it in the 500 subscriber special, the MLG video. That was pretty funny, I think. He was like an item in it, and yeah. So I think that maybe I'll keep that in the game. It could be some sort of item. Hello, Andrew. Sorry, I didn't see your message there. Start paying attention more. And yeah, what you were saying before there with a single camera, it's much easier for lighting and things like that. Although I have seen one game that does really cool lighting even in 2D. Well, it wasn't a game, it was like a tutorial online. I had one of the another viewer show me that. It was pretty cool. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here, I think I found it. It's like a blog post some guy made. So he shows how he uses like a normal maps to do kind of lighting, like in you know, around, but just in 2D objects, which is really neat. I think he has a GIF somewhere. If not, it's in it's a video. Here's the link if you guys want to see it. Here, I'll post it in the chat. I'm not going to play the video here though, because that would be super laggy. Okay. Just going to finish off these ugly swords. These popsicle swords. Yeah, we'll definitely have some sort of like fire and ice weapons. We're not too sure, but I was thinking of having like different kinds of medals, like around the game world, that could be collected, and some areas would have them more abundantly than others. Also, in the original Archipelo, we had different climate zones. I don't know if you guys remember, but we had like a winter, a grassy, and a sandy. I was thinking of maybe going back to that, but I'm gonna have to discuss it with the other team members. I'll let you guys know, but that would be definitely pretty cool to do, I think. Okay, let's export this. Yeah, I already exported it once, but I'm gonna overwrite it. Okay, and then now we'll do the green one. Oh yeah, the subspecial, yeah, I liked it a lot too. Really? You still get suggested to watch it? That's funny. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad with the way it turned out. I always wanted to make one of those MLG videos. Like, they weren't really popular anymore by the time I did the sub-special. Like, it was more like a 2015, 14 kind of thing. But ever since I've seen those videos, I've been wanting to try to make one. I thought it'd be cool. It's pretty funny too, you know, it kind of makes fun of like the placeholder art and stuff like that, which is, you know, just good jokes. What technique? The placeholder art? Alright, there you go. Now we got the green sword and we're done with the... we're done with all this now, I think. Just gonna save that. Okay. Let's reload it in here. Test sword, there you go. We got them all in here. So basically there's going to be 2 use types for this item and 2 styles. The stream seems to be glitching out a little bit. Like, YouTube's telling me it's the video output is low. Like, it's not getting much footage. So let me know if it's a little messed up. I can always just adjust the settings a little bit. Wow, but it's already dropped 13,000 frames, which is a lot. Well, running at 30 frames a second for half an hour, I guess it's not too bad. But okay, so now we actually need to add in the item into the game. And actually, I'm going to have to give it to the player somehow so we can actually test with it. And I'm pretty sure we're going to run into quite a bit of bugs along the way. So, that'll be fun. There's a lot of the stuff I haven't really tested yet, so... yeah, I put a sandwich. Actually, that would be a pretty cool weapon in the game. You know, you have some of these RPGs with these crazy weapons. Okay. I'm going to close everything else. Yeah, it's pretty cool, eh, the 2D thing. Seems like a lot of work, but it can be a pretty cool effect. Actually, I thought I saw another game that was coming out recently that was using it. But it was actually just a 3D game that they were making it look really 2D. I forget what it was called, though. I may have seen it on Twitter or something. Somebody posted it. I think it was on Greenlight. Item type data. So this is all the settings for items. It's a lot of stuff. Alright, so the ID is... oh, right, we're going to have to make an icon for it too. I forgot to do that. Here, I'll do that real quick. Port. Oh, there's no tile grid? Whoops. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. Resize tiles. I think it was 16 by 16. No, why did you do that? I should have actually kept the duplicate. That would have been much faster. Oh, I don't have to go all the way back. Alright, there you go. Duplicated. Resize tiles, resample. 16. No! Why? No. Okay, I guess we'll just assume. Okay, so this seems like it takes the entire 16 by 16. Alright, oh no. Ah! I was trying to do something interesting there. So we're copy pasting nothing. Okay, there you go. Now let's do this. That's one thing too though. The style doesn't change with the icons. So maybe eventually I'll do different icons for the different styles of the weapons, but I don't know. For now, we'll just keep it simple. Just do like a little sword thing here like this. Alright, looks good. Let's export this back. It's weird the way that Pixel Edit stores the folders it opens up by default. It's like sometimes it updates, sometimes it doesn't. I think it might be some buggy stuff going on there. Icons. Yep. Alright, there you go. Yeah, I don't need that. Okay, so we should have the new icon now. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it should be the 9th icon. So icon x is equal to 9. The y is 0. What am I doing? This is JSON. Icon y is 0. Max stack size is 1, so that's the default. Keep it at that. Durability, let's just give it 100, but although that's relative to nothing else, we're not really sure what the durabilities are going to be used like. Equip type, how do we do that again? Equip type usable is 9, so equip type is 9. Buff is false, it's not a buff, it's not ammo, it's not consumable, it's not material. Num of styles, there's 2 styles that we made. Num of views animations, there's 2. This will be quite a bit easier once I make the visual editor for this. Instead of having to go through the code and stuff, just checking out you know, how it all works. Use animation lengths. Okay, it's a float, so it means it's a number. Use animation lengths. They should all be the same, so it's equal to array. Okay, so there's 2 of them. So say each one is 1 second. Okay, and there's max damage, min damage. I think I've actually already implemented all this stuff too, which is cool. So say 2. max damage 7. I'm just giving this really random numbers right now. Defense 0. Well, that's default. Damage multiplier. There's just 1. Speed. Crit multiplier. Say 1.5. Crit chance. If this is like a percentage, so we'll do 15% crit chance. And I think that's it. Okay, so now we need to actually add it in through here. So test sword. Okay, so it's officially added into the client. Now we need to add it to the server. No. Items. Item type. Now, since it's a usable item, we're gonna give it a use type. So this is basically an interface for when the item is used in different ways. So the only one I implemented right now is use item tap, but there's going to be use item hold. So that's when the player is holding the attack button while using the item, and then they let go. So it's going to give some values like the duration, things like that. One thing I want to do too is when the player is holding down the attack button still, the animation will get stuck at the last frame. And I don't know, maybe it'll add some extra frame, you know, like to give it like a shock or something. Yeah, we should give some sort of visual thing, but we'll add that in later. Like after we're done with the basic combat stuff. And also there's a double tap. Some items can use like a double tap on the attack button, and it has a delta of time. Most of these aren't even implemented yet. It's just this one really. And I have my use types here. The only one I added right now is the potion one. Actually, this is just a placeholder one, so I can kind of see how it works, or other developers can. So this is just an example of how a use potion thing would work. So you see you have, here I'll uncomment it so it's a bit easier to read. So if the user's health is full, so the user is the person who used the item, who tapped while they had the item in their hand. If their health is full, actually this doesn't work because it returns the wrong thing, but basically if it's full, don't do anything, don't use the item, don't use the animation. If it's not full, then we add the health that the potion gives, which is given with the min damage. So yeah, I'm starting to think that here I need to check something out. Player stats manager. Oh, okay, so I did implement the player hit with the player attack thing. So that's in. Maybe I'll use that. I don't know. Doesn't seem like the right place to use it. Anyways. Okay, so let's add in the use type for the sword. And basically what it returns is a use type settings object, which, where did I even store that? It's in here. Oh, it's an Archipelo shared. Okay. It's basically just an object with some settings for when the item is used. So basically it has the animation type, which is the use animations, the sound type. So the type of sound is going to be playing. I didn't add that in yet, but I will. And also Boolean to say whether to use the thrust animation or the use animation. So I added that in recently. It used to not work that way, but now it does. I think it makes more sense. So basically, let's just add it in. You guys will see. So I'm going to get a random number from 0 to 1 for the use animation. Is equal to item dot get type num of use animations. Okay, so that's going to get a random use animation to use. I'm not going to do the damage stuff just yet. I want to test out the animations. Well, I didn't realize the stream's only been going for 45 minutes. Well, 47 minutes now. It feels like it's been going much longer than that. That's fine. We can get a lot more done then. Okay, what else do we need? It's always going to be thrust, so we can do true for that, and for the sound we'll just do 0. So I think we're done with this. So new use type settings. Use animation 0 and true. And we also have to implement this on the client for the client side prediction. So do new package, use types. Create a class, test, sort, use type. Alright, and we're basically just going to copy the code from the other one here. Whoops. New use type settings. Use animation, sound is 0, and thrust is true. Static tools. Alright, there you go. So what's next? I mean, I guess it should work now. Let's just test it. Cross our fingers, hope it all works. Because I wasn't able to test it before this, so there could be some bugs with what I did the other day. Although I'm pretty confident with it. What's left? I feel like there's something left. Oh yes, we need a way to give the item to the player. Here, maybe I'll just make it part of one of the NPC dialogue trees. Here, real quick, I'm just going to add a sign onto. Oh yes, this is going to actually be the first time that you guys will see the test map that I made. I made a new one just to test things out. Right now, all it has is a teleporter on it. So let's add in a new entity. So name. Call it sword sign. Okay, so we're going to put it close to the teleporter there. Style 0. And what else is there for signs? What other properties are there? Here, let's just check on sign properties, start message ID. Sword sign start. Okay, now we're gonna actually have to add in NPC dialogues. Here, I'm gonna close this. We don't need that now. Don't need this. Don't need this. Nope. Nope. This is just basically a file that it contains all the NPC dialogues for that specific map. It's pretty cool the way it actually works. So I'll show you guys. So here, first I have to get it set up. Dialogues. So basically you have different things, different settings for it. So you have an ID, of course, so it's a unique ID for that dialogue. You also have a variable called interruptible, which basically says whether the player can just get out of the conversation just by walking away. And there's also, this is the really cool part, there's the conditions, and there's also executes and choices as well. That's really cool. So here we have cond, that's for condition. Basically, this condition here has an ID of has flag, which means this condition is going to check if the player has this flag, which is this one. Then when they talk to this sign and it opens up this dialogue, if they do have the flag, it's going to change the dialogue to this one. So that's another ID. So it's basically, it's going to send them to sign 1, stop it. So they're going to send them to here instead, and it's going to use this one. But if they don't have this flag, it's not going to send them. It's going to read out the dialogue for this. Also, there's choices. So if there's only one choice, it's going to, once you're done reading that sign, it's going to send you to the next one, which is the only choice. But if there's more than one, it allows the player to select different choices to branch out, which is like the really cool, unique part of this. Here, maybe I have a good example of some places where there's more choices here. There's sign to start. So I don't know if you guys remember, but in the map that we had, there was two choices. There was, would you rather learn about HollowBit or NPCs? So these are the two choices, and these are the IDs that it sends the player to. So it sends it to this, sends it to this, and then each one of these ends up sending it to the end sign, which is just here. So that's pretty cool. And also there's the execute, which is really awesome. Basically, it's whenever the player interacts with a sign, it will execute a series of commands. So this one here, it executes the command add flag, and basically just gives the player the flag. So this one, it says if they already got the ashes of Blobby. So if they did, so it's going to add the ashes. And it's also going to run the give items command, which basically just gives the player items. Also, if it already has the flag, like we said here, it has a condition that will send it to somewhere else if it already had the flag. So very cool, I think, and I think it's simple enough. But yeah, there's so many possibilities with this. I'm really happy with this. It's probably one of the things in this engine that I'm most happy about. So here, I'm just going to make 2 dialogues. So I'm going to call it, first one, well, if it's false, it's by default, so no. So basically, I'm just going to check, does the player already have the sword? So sword sign gave item, whatever, that would be the flag name, I guess. So if it does, then we're going to have the change, which would be sword sign end. And there's also going to be an execute, but I'll just do the choices first. Here, I'll do it already. So it's going to have a dialogue saying, hey, you got the sword already. Stop being greedy or something like that. Okay, and we'll also have an execute. So that's an array. It'll have 2 execute commands. So basically the same as the other one. We're going to add the flag. Add flag. Which one was it again? The sword sign gave item. Flag, our sword sign gave item. Okay, and we're also going to have another one. Give items. And the items we're going to give test sword, and I think we should also give a test sword with the style of 1, like that. And I think that's it. Okay, now we just need to add in the other 2, but these ones will be much shorter. So ID sword sign already. So that's the don't be greedy one. Oh, also I didn't mention, but for the choices, you can leave it blank or null, and it'll just end the conversation, so that's cool. Sword sign end. There you go, like that. And I think I forgot. No, I put my comma at the end. Okay, cool. Now, how do we actually implement it onto the client for the text? Because there's no text there, but that's on purpose. It's because the client has multi-language support, so we don't want to put the actual text on the server. Also, you'd be sending over a lot of text for nothing, so. Oh, I forgot how this worked again. How did I do that? I think it was in the assets. Shared. No. Oh yes, NPC dialogues list. Oh, I think I made it so that it has to be unique. So these IDs have to be unique not just to the map they're on, but to everywhere. Right, I added that in. There's a lot of things I added in that I forgot I did. There's so much code in this. There's actually a lot of stuff. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll call this... wait, but how does... I should really document my code a little bit more so I can remember, because... okay, we'll call it Test Island. Well, I'm gonna go looking through my code to see how the different things work. Okay. NPC dialogues. It's almost the same thing. NPC dialogue. Right, so that has a message. Where's the NPC dialogue manager? Oh, I think it was in here. Language specific manager. Yeah. Okay. How did I do it for Blobby Grave on the server side? Okay, I see how it worked. Okay, yeah, I was right. So it's just it has to be unique all around, not just for specific maps. I'll have to be careful with that in the future, but I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. Okay, so we added in the test island one. Now we just need to actually write it in. So here, let's do that real quick. Okay. So this is basically how it works on the client side. So it's very, well, it's not similar because there's no execute, there's no condition. All that's handled on the server side. Basically what the client does is it just has an ID, the name, which is like the title at the top of the message, and also the actual message itself. So very simple. So we had a few IDs here. We had # start, I believe it was called. Yeah, it's here. # give. As long as it's consistent with what's on the map, we should be good. Here, I'll close this. We don't need that. We don't need this anymore either. sword sign give. Okay, and we have a name. We'll call it the sword giver. And its message will be, is a free sword for you. That's it. And now we'll do sword sign already. The name will also be sword giver. We can change it up a little bit here. I just want to do something interesting. Sword giver. We'll call it angry sword giver. Don't be greedy. You already. You already got a sword. Alright. I'm actually going to change this. I don't want it to go to the end. I just want the conversation to end there. And the last one, which is the sword sign end. Name. There you go. Put my commas at the end. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's gonna work now. I think we did everything we needed to add in that NPC dialogue. It's pretty long adding it in manually like that in the JSON, especially if you need to look at the other ones to remember what values. But once I do the visual editor for the game, it'll be much easier. I've already started doing a little bit of stuff like that. Okay, so let's just test it out. Player pick packet. Field found, none of styles. Oh. It looks like for the test sword I misspelled something there. Use animation lengths. See, that's one issue we don't have with the visual editor because you know it's good. Right, configuration loaded. Yeah, when we're streaming, it takes a little bit of time for it to connect to the database and also the login server. Whoa, okay. Field not found dialogue. It should be dialogues like this. Field not found name. Oh, forgot my colon here. Hold on, are these closed? Yeah. Whoa. Does it say I have 3 servers running right now? Alright, because these kept running after. This is the good one. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in some of the devlogs, I was doing this reverse thing. It was just kind of like for fun. It was a shader that I made. We had kind of a little idea of doing like some sort of inverted world like that, but we're not sure. Oh yes, I remember the super annoying sound effect for walking. Here. I muted it so you guys won't be able to hear it. Now, why are there 2 players following each other? Alright, here's a sign. Oh no. It wasn't able to find the message. Maybe I did something wrong that I didn't realize. Maybe on the... No. You can see the networking is really lagging. You can see the animation for the teleporters trying to catch up every once in a while. It's weird that there's duplicate players like that. Here, let me try it again. Hey, welcome everyone. We're 9 viewers now. That's pretty cool. Last time we had that was a little while ago. He says it's already logged in. I'm gonna have to go through these bugs in the next few days and just crank them out. Won't do that on stream though, that would be pretty boring. But yeah, how'd you guys like that placeholder sound effects there? Oh, it's so bad. Actually, we do have sound effects for walking and stuff like that. But I don't want to just extract it from, because the sound effects engineer made a YouTube video of them to show them off. Here, I don't want to do it like that because it'll be too laggy for the stream. Yeah, they sounded really good, but they're just all in a YouTube video, so I didn't want to extract it from the YouTube video. I want to get the source stuff, but he made it a long time ago, like over a year ago. Probably like a good 15 months ago. But well, I only got around to adding in sound effects recently, so I haven't been able to use them. Okay, so the execute worked. Wait, does that mean we still have the item anyways? Oh, hey, look. Nice. Okay, so we have the item equipped, but it's not rendering it. We can't put it anywhere else, right? We shouldn't be able to, but just need to test. Okay, so we can... Oh, maybe I need to change the client-side code for doing that. Yeah, I think maybe I only changed it on the server, but I didn't change the client, so it doesn't actually render the items properly. Also, I just want to fix these dialog boxes real quick too. So we got here, sword sign give. The IDs are the same, so I think maybe there's some sort of linking issue I forgot to handle. What does this look like? Alright, so we know that everything executed properly. Wait, no. That's not necessarily true. Hold on a second. Yes, okay, it did. So, it's only showing one thing like that because we already got the swords. So it's just being annoying to us. Also, did you notice that... Whoa. Okay. Oh, is this in the server? No, this is the client. Oh, I forgot to link the use type for this. I should probably make this a little bit more safe. So like that. And I'll do the same here. Basically what's happening is I'm trying to access this thing, but not all items have a use type necessarily linked. And I forgot to link the sword one, so maybe that's why the sword animation's not working. Actually, that's almost 100% why it's not working. Well, unless, of course, there's something else too. But I'll do the same on the server. So basically, I just need to make sure the code isn't making it's not trying to use the item without there being a use type. Otherwise, it'll cause some bugs. Here, I'll copy it like this. Okay. Also on the server we didn't do this too, and it probably caused some other bugs. Doesn't look like it did. It's okay, I need to link it anyways. Yeah, it seems like there might be another issue on the server now that I'm just noticing. Okay, so let's link this. New test sword use type. No, I should just do it differently on both the server and the client. Okay, and the client need to register the test sword use type. So new test sword use type. Import it. Here, this should actually import all the use types, because we will be using all of them at one point. Well, we are using all of them because there's only one. Okay, let's restart the server. This one fixed the NPC dialogue issue. I'm gonna have to look back at how that works, but it's a little weird. There's probably some little thing I forgot to do, and it's just not working as a result. Okay, launch the client. It's really slow to do all this when you're streaming. Actually, you guys probably even notice like a stream quality going down a little bit. Oh no, I think the server might have crashed. Form data packet. I think I'm gonna have to restart. I have some of these serialization issues every once in a while. I'm thinking because the JSON library I'm using isn't super good. So maybe if I fix that, a lot of the bugs will be fixed in the end. I mentioned the stream yesterday, but I'm thinking of switching to CrowdNet because we're not going to support HTML5 GWT anymore. We're just doing desktop, so like Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS. We're not going to be doing the web browser version anymore. It's just too annoying to maintain. Oh, okay. So it kind of seems to be working. Although the player should not be able to move when they're in thrust. That's fine. And the animation isn't working as well. I want to test out if I use this, if it's going to be red. No, it's not. There's a lot of bugs relating to this. Let me check. Yeah, it is style, the for changing the color. Right, but I think it's because we're never passing the style to the item type thing when we're... Okay. I'm going to start by fixing this NPC dialogue thing, just to get that out of the way, just so I can get a refresher on how it works, and then after that we'll work on the other stuff. Sounds? Oh yeah. There's all these sound effects. Here, I want to see if the other NPC dialogues still work. Oh, now it's showing it as red? Whoa, what? How is that happening? Now it's just consistently red. How? Okay, these work. Oh yeah, look, by the way, I was telling you guys, the uninterruptible ones, you can't move. And these are the choices. So you had the HollowBit and the NPC dialogues. But why are these consistently red? This is so weird. Also, I need to add some sort of weight so to remove the health bars. By the way, those red lines are health bars. It was just to test it out. I think I added it so if you step on here, you lose health. Ooh, sorry about that. Okay. If you teleport back, let's see what happens. Okay, now it's consistently red. I think I know why though, because I think it kind of just picks a random style or something. Because you never specify it. Man, this placeholder sound is so annoying. Sorry if I was yelling there for a second. I could barely hear myself talking. Whenever I walk, it does this coin noise, like on repeat. It's so loud. Okay, so... Oh, there's a prefix. Now that's the thing I'm not too sure about. How did I handle the prefixes? Here. Let's just mess that up so I can see what calls it. Game screen. NPC dialog packet.prefix. So it seems like it's sent in from the server. Packet.prefix. Alright, that makes sense. So the prefix is sent in by the server, but how does the server get the prefix in the first place? I think a bird just landed like on my roof near where my window is. It's making some noise now. Okay. BC dialogues. Okay, so how does this actually send the dialogue to the client, though? That's what I'm wondering. Get prefix. Where is this used? Okay, there. It's the NPC dialog manager for the player. Okay. So this is sending in a NPC dialog packet, but it uses this prefix from the map. It could be that, oh, I think I might know. I'm just naming things wrong, I think. I'm just not too sure how the blobby grave works, though. That's the main thing I'm wondering about. Blobby grave start. If we go into here, the blobby grave isn't there. Let me see if we rename it to Test Island Island. And this to Test Island Island. I have a feeling this will work. Although if this does work, I have no idea how the grave one worked. There you go. Don't be greedy, you already got a sword. And see, the text is actually Angry Sword Giver, which is what we wanted. Okay, I just want to see how this one worked real quick, and then we'll get into the other stuff. Actually, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom in a couple minutes too. Oh. Okay, I'm going to start by checking out the code for the grave. So how did that work? And lifeless grave. Okay, so if the player hits send NPC dialog. Oh, so you can specify your own prefix if you don't just want to use the map one. Alright, I see how that works. That's cool. I completely forgot how that all worked, and I implemented it only a few months ago. After this, I might start doing some documentation so I don't have to go through this again. I'm going to close everything. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Just need to go to the washroom. But yeah, I'm glad we got that stuff working. And also, there you go. There's the "I'll be right back" sign. So yeah, it shouldn't take too long. All right, I'm back. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that NPC dialogue system. I think I implemented it really well because I don't have to have unique IDs for the things as long as it's unique within its prefix, which is perfect, I think. Although the main issue I'm having with it though is I should probably change that. Whoops. Is this the code for the execute and the change and the condition is still within the map, not the same as on the client where it's split up, right? So I might change that eventually, not today though. Let's just try to clean out some of those bugs with the combat system, and yeah. Yeah, documentation is really important, especially since I have another programmer working on the game, and we might actually have the pixel artist doing some programming eventually if he wants to add in some stuff, just basic things for adding in entities. So yeah, I really need to start documenting a little bit better. Like I do some comments on things that are just a little bit obscure, that aren't as easy to understand, or things like that, and I often like with this, like I do the in code documentation, but I also want to start documenting on GitHub so I know how these different systems work without having to go through all the code and checking it. Oh, also I'm eating now. All right, what do I want to check out? Sorry. What I wanted to check out was, forgot. Oh, right. The client side, the code for the player, for when the player uses an item. Now, I have a feeling that the animation works if you're looking at another player, but if you're on the client and you're looking at yourself, I don't... no, I implemented that. This hit sound still works. Item style, okay. Components, close rendering. Now see here, I'm not even passing in the style for the clothes to be rendered differently. I should be doing that. So I pass in the use style. Whoops. Animation meta use style. What's the difference between use style and use type? Okay, item not style. Animation meta use style. There's also one other cool thing I want to implement later. I want to show you guys. Okay, so use types. Get use frame. Okay, so it seems that the style is passed in, but for some reason it's not really accurate to what the actual style of the weapon is. So the style coming in here, and it also gets parsed in. I don't like this name though. Here, I'm gonna rename it. It's a little bit a little weird. Item not style. Okay, here it seems that it's always using the using 0, so we need to change this to animation type. That will help. Use animation length. Also, one other thing too is it seems like when it loads in the animations, it only does 1 frame. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, so this is for usable items. Here, I'm going to change that thing on the server as well, just so it works. Attack. Okay, there you go. Item. Okay. I don't even think I changed anything on the server. I just changed the desktop. So let's rerun the desktop. See how that works. So now it should be doing the difference between, like, you know, it was red, it was orange. Okay, see, green, blue, blue. Okay, so now that's working. It's picking between those colors randomly. That's what we wanted. The main thing is that one sword should be blue and green, the other one should be red, which I don't get. So that picks the color randomly. That's good. That's the way it should be. But yeah, like I said, it's the style is off. Item.style. I'm curious about something here. I'm just going to system.out the item style. Alright, now it's doing the red one. That's the way it should be. Alright, it's still doing the red one. What I think could be happening? Yeah, that makes total sense actually. What happens if I remove the sword? Does it still do a sword? Yep. That's what's happening. It's not updating. When I change the inventory here, it's not updating the inventory on the client side for the player's clothes. Oh, at least for the player's sword. See, it does it for clothes, which is good. But the sword doesn't get updated. Okay, so I'm gonna have to close the server as well now. That's why when we switch maps or when we relogged, it would change the style because the client would get a fresh new copy of what it has in its equipment slot. But if we just switch it like that, it doesn't. So that's the issue that we're having. Okay, so we can comment that out. So I figured it out. Now let's just figure out where the bug is. So that should be in, I think it's in the player's changes. Oh no. Okay, so how does the player actually get told these are your new clothes? That's what I need to figure out. No, not movement log. Maybe it's in here. Display inventory. Okay, that makes sense. So I think the display inventory, maybe it does. Hold on. This dot display inventory. Yeah, the display inventory doesn't take into account the sword, like the weapon that the player is using. So basically we need to change that. But how does the client know what weapon it's using? Close renderer.get display inventory the item usable. Okay. So it does get it. So something on the server side then, it's not telling the client that this is your new sword. Alright, I think I might know where that is. Player inventory. Inventory updated. Get display inventory. Yeah, so it says here that it's changing the weapon. Let's just print out the weapon. So player inventory.java. Alright. So print it out. Wait, what does it look like when it prints out anyways? Do I even have a toString in here? No, I don't. Stop the server. Alright. Let's see if that works now. Well, obviously it won't work, but this is just to debug. So we're going to be seeing what item is sent to the client. Because it seems like it's not sending an updated version of it. Okay, so when we add in the sword, whoops, hold on, I'm checking the client now. No. Okay, well I think the server just bugged out now. Okay, now it looks fine. So when we add in the sword, it should be updating, but it doesn't. Okay. All right, that tells me a lot. That kind of means that the form for the inventory isn't very good. Okay, so where do I store the forms again? Forms, inventory form. Okay, so this is when an item is moved from one slot to another. This.update client. How does that work? Oh, right, it just tells the client, here's your new form. So I think it does work to move them around, but it seems like it's just not telling the client, like, hey, here's your new thing. Player.getInventory.move. Where's the move? Here, I can just do this. Open. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Open declaration. Player.update display inventory. Cosmetic. No, hold on. So it seems like it's only updating the display inventory if it's moving to or from the cosmetic and equipped. That's not good though. We need to also have or from inventory is equal to weapon equipped inventory. Hey, new subscriber, welcome. Did it pop up on the stream, that new subscriber thing? It should. I don't think I noticed it though. Let me guys know. And I think that's it for that bug. Hold on, let's just see if this actually works, but I think, pretty sure that's what it is. Alright, it has a green sword. We move in. Yeah, look at that red sword. Oh, the red and orange sword. And let's move this back in here. Nice. And what happens if we... There you go, nothing. Alright, cool. So that bug's fixed. Now we just need to fix the issue where we have the animation not playing properly. I have a feeling it's a state time issue or something. Like the state time isn't getting updated or something like that. Maybe it's just because the animations are too short. Let me... Here, what happens if we make it longer or shorter? That's what I'm curious about. Okay, so the assets. I want to make sure that it, no, not here. It's in shared items. Test sword. So right now the use animation lengths are 1 second each. What if we do 15? What if we do 5 seconds? Will it actually keep the animation for 5 seconds? That's what I'm wondering. Also, why aren't the frames updating as well? That's what I'm wondering as well. Okay, server started. I think maybe I messed up my logic with that, I'm thinking. Okay, let's equip the sword. Okay. Yep, it pretty much stayed for 5 seconds. Right, now the issue is the time between each frame. How did I calculate that? I think I used the use animation length and divided, but maybe I didn't do that properly. Item type. Yeah, I think that's it. Use animation length. This is the time, this here is the time between frames, and basically I'm saying the time between each animation frame is the length of the entire animation. But that's not true. It's the length of the entire animation divided by how many frames there are. So that should be this dot length like that. Alright, let's try it again. So 5 seconds, it should be like 2.5 seconds between each frame. We should close that other one. Okay, it's still not doing it. The styles. Okay, hold on a second. I think maybe I'm doing this wrong. It should be the use sheet, not this. Use sheet. There you go, like that. Now this I'm pretty sure will work. Oh no, still not working. Did I close that class? So this is the rows. Okay, I'm gonna output it just so I can test it out. I want to see what it gives, because it should be giving 1, but that's not good. Like if it's giving me this error, that means it's giving me a 1, even though it shouldn't. Also, what's all this 0.1 business here? I'm not sure. Okay, let's run the client again, see what it gives us. 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, it should be giving us 2. The issue is that this is this an int array? No, it's float. Alright, let's try it again. At least we don't have to wait this time. We can just see the output right away. 5. So it should be giving us 2.5 seconds between each frame. It should be updating. So I'm thinking maybe now there's a state time issue. So like the animation state time isn't being updated. Direction state time. So here. State time. No, because the animation finishes at one point, right? So that shouldn't be much of an issue, I don't think. Okay, so it should output. See, the state time doesn't go up. Now, why does it not go up? That's what I'm wondering. So where does this get called from? It gets called from here. Get use frame. Oh, it's passing a state time of 0? Oh, right, because this used to be the thrust one. Oh, no. Why did I do that? Wait, let me see. If that is the case, then if we're walking, the animation should play. Oh, no, because never mind, we're in thrust. Yeah. Let's try now. Now it's gotta work. Come on. After this, I think we'll make it so that when you're in thrust, you can't move. Yeah, there you go. So the animation runs, although it's really long. Let's change it to not even like 0.5. Okay, we'll restart the server too now, just so everything's consistent. Alright, so we're going to make it so you can't move while you're using your item in thrust mode. And also, I think we'll make it so that... Hold on, what was I thinking? There's the thrust mode. Oh yes, also if you're still holding down the action button to use the item, it will stay at the last frame, like it'll stick. We want to have that. That will be useful for items like bows, where if you're holding down your attack button, the bow should be in like full stretch, and then you should be able to move around with it and, you know, aim, and then once you let go, it'll do the attack. That's kind of the idea with that. Or also, like, if you're charging a sword. So yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's because we're talking to the sign there. See, did you notice the animation doesn't play when you talk to signs or things like that? That's something else I did intentionally. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so let's make it so you can't move while you're in thrust. That should be easy, actually. Okay. Hey, nice. We actually fixed quite a few bugs today, which is good. Okay, so the idea behind this is really easy. Just go to the movement code and we'll check if you're in thrust, don't move. Otherwise, yeah. Where does this end? If is moving. So what we can actually do and animation manager dot get animation ID dot equals thrust. So if a movement, so basically this function, this method tells us whether the player is moving or not based on their controls. And so basically it's saying if the player is pressing down on the up, left, down, right keys, that means they're moving, but they are not moving if they're also in thrust. So that's how that works. And I basically just have to do that on the server as well. Is moving, so if either one of those keys are down and they're not in thrust animation, then we're all good. Equals thrust. So if it's not equal to thrust. Alright, restart the server. I think that'll work. That's all we pretty much need to do, I think, for that. Man, it takes forever for the server to start. I think the stream doesn't help. That's alright. Just takes a few seconds of waiting. I should probably start using debug mode while I'm on stream. Oh, it does like this weird glitch thing. Is it because the animation goes back and forth from being in thrust and not thrust? That's a little weird. Maybe it's just like a client and server side thing where they're not synced properly. Yeah, that sounds accurate. No, it really seems like it's going back and forth just constantly. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think it would be a syncing issue. That wouldn't make much sense, now that I think of it. Because they process the commands around at the same time, so... Oh, maybe not. Hold on, I'll check the code after. I just want to see if it's switching back and forth first like crazy. Did I close the server already? Yeah, I'm going to have to restart it. I could have tested it with just closing the client. Start the client. Even this takes a while. False? Oh, right, because I just said if it equals to thrust. Okay, so the client says yes, it's always in thrust. What about the server? See, the server looks scattered all over. Do you see that? If you go here, it goes like true, true. True, true. True, true. That's not the way it should be doing it. Alright, I'm just curious what the server thinks the animation is then. Could it be it's ending the animation early? The real way I think I can tell is if I get two clients on at the same time, and then we can look how the syncing looks on the server. Because maybe it's just ending the animations too early. That's a possibility. Okay, so we get this one. Oh yes, this might not be good for the stream, getting two clients on at the same time. Yeah, I'll put them in smaller windows so it doesn't completely destroy the stream. Whoa, this guy runs. Oh yeah, he has the boots on. Hello. Alright, he doesn't have a sword. Okay, so this guy. Ah, see, the server doesn't even run the animation. Now, obviously there's something different with their code that's causing this to happen. Alright, so that's the main issue then. It just means that the client and the server aren't running the same code exactly for the starting the animations, which is fine because I didn't really test it before. You can easily fix this. Okay, so this is the server player. So let's check out the code here for this. Update controls. No, let's lower down. Wait, what's this to do for? Load in health properly. Oh, yeah. Okay. So use hit animation. Okay, it's true. So this basically just goes and checks, are there any entities in the area that we cannot hit? If so, then it disables the hit animation. Okay, so yeah, it gets the weapon to use. Uses it, it gets the settings for the animation, and it gets set to default. Wait, no, then this is play use animation. So this is here. Right, so the server also has the sound type. I should probably add that in here too as well. Here, int sound type. We don't have sound in yet, but that's fine. And we'll do okay, and then it checks. Do I get animation length? Okay, does that actually work? Let me see. Okay, so it's checking for the animation length. Now, what could be happening, I think, is that the server is running the animation for much less long than the client is. That's causing some bugs. Right, so this just gets the animation length. Use animation length, blah, blah, blah. Animation type is more than or equal to 0. And this is less than. Okay, so that could be definitely causing the bug, that's for sure. So it's saying like the animation is shorter than it should be. But I think it would only affect it in one case though. Like, cause you know there's two different use types. So the one that's at 0, which would just say for the blue sword would be blue, and at 1 it's green. So that means the green one should have still been working, but it wasn't. So maybe there's something else going on too. Let's just check it out. But if is moving, stop movement, set animation to thrust. Yeah, I mean this looks fine. I think it might be good. Maybe it's just we weren't ever getting a green one, and that's why it was glitching up like that for us. So let's just try it again. Alright, still glitching out a bit. Let's open up another client. I just want to see that. Not responding. The hair really changes a lot. It's a bit weird. We're probably gonna have to play with that a little. Yeah, it's kind of weird actually. Okay, it's still not playing the animation. Loose thrust is moving. It's not equal to null. Okay, so animation type is 0. Use thrust is false. But it's not using any animation at all. That's the thing that I'm wondering about. All right, let's just test it out here. If settings is not equal to null, it could be that I messed up one of the conditions on the item use types, and it's just not rendering anything. So here, if it's not equal to null, yeah, the use type is not equal to null. Oh, that could be, nope. Okay, so this is going to tell us if the settings were null, and the animation just got skipped. That's possible as well. But I don't know. It seems like it still runs the animation just for a very short amount of time. Okay, and we'll do another system.out here just to test it out. Yeah, it's getting cold outside. I think I'm going to close my window. Okay, I'll restart the client and the server. Here, I'm just going to close my window. Be back in a sec. Desktop launcher. Alright, well, at least in trying to implement that thing where the player can't move in thrust, you discovered another bug, so that's good. Item used. Okay, so it seems like the bug is really that it's not using the item for as long as it should be. Okay. Use animation length. I want a system.out to use animation length here. I want to see. Oh yeah, I have to restart the server. Oh yes, I also want to, well, I guess maybe tomorrow we'll do that, but the sound effects for when you use an item, that shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. We'll probably do that tomorrow though. I think as soon as I'm done fixing this, we'll call it a day. We got quite a bit done today, so I'm happy with it. Alright, so 0.5. Maybe it's just because the use animation length thing here is expecting like a long or something like that. No, it should be expecting a float. Okay, so the length is correct. That's good. Happy about that at least. Custom animation length. Data.finite length. Yeah, I think it should be finite length. Get entity type has animation. Yep. Animation meta is good. Empty hand use animation length. What is that set to? 0.5. That's the thing I don't seem to get. Is why if you hold on, let me actually try to see if that's even a valid claim. Okay, we already got one of the clients open. Perfect. Okay, we'll open up this other one here. So if this guy does his animation, does it play on both? Yeah. So why doesn't it play the item one on both? That's what I'm wondering. Because the animation length is actually the same for both the item animation. Wait, does it actually still say? It shouldn't say I'll be back on the stream. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't say. Maybe it's just a thumbnail or something? Let me see. Oh, it seems like it's okay. I don't know. Do you guys still see that? Sorry. All right. But it doesn't run the animation if this guy does it. Oh yeah, the thumbnail. I don't even know if there's a way for me to adjust that actually. I think YouTube just picks it automatically for live streams. Once the live stream's done, though, and I finish DVRing it, I can save it. Do a different one, but for now, that's fine. Ugh. But it doesn't even play the sound. Oh, wait, hold on. No, it does play the sound on the other client. But not the animation at all. Yeah, I think Google just well, yeah, I guess Google, but YouTube just generates the thumbnails. Yeah, I guess it kind of sucks that it could just generate like a "I'll be back" one, and people think that I'm not there. Oh wait, hold on. It says change thumbnail here. Oh, I can upload a custom one. Ah, I should probably do that actually next time. I guess tomorrow. All right, let's try this here then. All right. So that should give me a little bit more insight into debugging. I think over the summer I'm going to start optimizing my debugging workflow. So I'll be using the debugger more, and I'll try to learn some new techniques, because just restarting it every time and just adding in these system.out calls is it's not really efficient. Thrust, test sword, yeah. It's all there. It looks like the server it's like when I'm walking, it immediately ends the thrust animation. That seems to be the issue with this. And whether it sends it to other clients or not, that's another issue. I'll fix that too. I think I might know why it's doing that though. because it starts doing the walk animation right after the thrust. It just has to do with the priority that the animations are run in, I think. There, let me see how this works here. I'll move it all to here. Oh wait, actually, hold on. I didn't test exactly. I need to see something first. Hey, wow, 10 viewers. I think that's a peak for today. Awesome, guys. Well, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Help a lot. It's as if you're already walking and you do the animation, but what? If you start walking while you're still in thrust, yes, this is the libgx. If you start walking while you're still in thrust, it cancels the thrust, which is not good. And also, it seems like walking while thrusting cancels the thrust animation, which is also not good. Okay, so is moving. So if you're... Yeah, this is actually really tough. So what I need to know is, does it end the animation early, or is it just being overridden by a walk animation? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, so let's go here. Animation manager dot change walk. Okay, so that's if they start walking. But that's not the case though, so it only changes it when either they stop rolling or they start walking. And animation completed, this is the thing I need to know. So here, let's just do a system.out here. Wait, no, this is the client. I need to be checking this stuff out on the server. Yeah, it's the same deal. Okay, let's check the animation completed thing here. Basically what this does is when a certain animation completes, like just say they use one, it asks the client, okay, what animation should we be using? So for the player, it's like, if the player's still moving, and if they're sprinting, then use the sprint animation, or use the walk animation. So it's kind of like, alright, the current animation's done, what should we play next, basically. So I need to do a system.out here. I need to test. If that gets called, then there's some sort of issue with the animation manager. This is probably pretty boring actually for you guys. Well, hopefully it'll be fixed in a couple minutes. But I think we'll end the live stream in a few minutes anyways. Whether it's fixed or not, maybe I'll work. Oh no, accidentally opened that. I might continue working on this kind of off stream just to get some of these bugs fixed, so we can start implementing some more stuff. Like I want to implement the if you hold down the action button, and also the sounds too would be interesting. Okay, so it's not a problem with the animation manager. That's good. Wait, I restarted the client, the server, right? Yeah, I think so. 11:53. Yeah, I did. Create a very simple game for multiple screens. What do you mean for multiple screens? You mean like different screen sizes and stuff? If so, I kind of showed it a little bit with the viewports and camera episode. But maybe that's not what you mean. Oops, I have to restart the server as well. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Well, the way I learned it is if you check out the viewports. Although, have you already seen that though? Because if you've already seen that, then what I'm then it might be pretty useless what I'm saying. But there's a good tutorial in the GitHub documentation for Archipelo on the viewports. It's pretty good. I think you should check that out. It talks about the different kinds. So there's like the screen, there's the stretch. Yeah, I'll just wait for you to respond. Because I don't want to go blabbing about the viewports if you already know about it. Okay, so use the fit viewport. I don't remember exactly what that one does. I think it does the black bars on the side, right? Is that the one? Alright, this issue is more deep-seated than I thought. So basically, I didn't really explain what I was testing, but basically it seems like whenever we press the attack button, it also updates saying that the one of the controls up, left, down, right has changed as well. I have no idea why. Honestly, this could be very boring to go through because I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth. I'll check it out quick, but yeah, it's not very fun. that can't be it. No, it doesn't use is moving. I think it's something with the way the client sends the controls to the server. It's basically like, why does it do that? It's basically, let me check the controls manager. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream in a couple minutes. I think if I want to figure this out, I should just do it offline, because not only it would be long, it's just, it's not as fun for me to entertain when I'm doing this kind of thing too. Force update. Okay, yeah, hold on. So you're saying it uses the black screens, right? Yeah, they're not black bars aren't the nicest way to use it. Yeah, black bars isn't the best way. I would suggest using either a stretch viewport or a screen viewport. The main difference with them, like Archipelo uses a screen. Here, I'll show you. Do I have a server running? So see, right now, the screen's at 720p. See, if I make it smaller, the only thing that's happening is that the view of the world gets smaller. But if you stretch it, if you open it up, you can see much more of the world. So what a screen viewport does is it basically just expands the bigger your screen, the more pixels there are on your screen, the more you can see of the game world. But of course you can make adjustments so that it doesn't go off the map. Like you can see here now it's following the player. But as we walk towards the edge of the map, it stops following the player and the player just keeps walking. So I think screen viewport is probably the best way of doing it. But if you really want all the game versions to have the exact same screen looking the exact same, what you want to use is called a stretch viewport, which is basically you give it a resolution and it's going to stretch to that no matter what. Yeah, that's what Raging Rabbit's saying. You can just scale up the whole game to a bigger resolution, but it's much more intensive. It's harder to run. The old version of Archipelo used to do that, and I could like never get over 100 FPS, even running on a decent device. And running on my old Android tablet, it wasn't even playable. I was getting like 24 FPS. So really, a screen viewport is the better solution, but depending on the game, you might want to use a stretch viewport. I think actually the tutorial series uses a stretch viewport. Yeah, I hope that helped. I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. It's almost 3 hours now. Maybe I'll try to fix some of these bugs that we're having before tomorrow, so then tomorrow we can do something more interesting. But yeah, that's it for this live stream. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I'll probably be doing it at 9 Eastern again tomorrow. So yeah, see you then.